Shalom, salam alaikum, kif halek, kevakum shlonik, merhaba, konnichiwa, ni hao, namaste, privyet, bonjour, buongiorno, saludos, oladag, hashbarav, yakshimash, je suis Ali, Anna Alex. I'm the CEO of Orca Oshi Capital Management. Shout out to my partner, Ronnie, BTS. Could not do it without him. And I am an electronic dance music DJ. With that, let's talk about China real estate. And why the fuck does that matter? Okay, let's go. Evergrande, the second, some say the first, largest property developer, defaulted December of last year, even perhaps sooner. Nonetheless, Evergrande, Cynic, Fantasia, why does this matter? Why does it matter that 22 property developers that are large China high yielding bonds matter? Well, very simple. And if I misworded all of the financial wording that's supposed to matter, let me hope I can just make it up to you. Those fucking companies go into people's fucking pensions. 401ks that could potentially go to 201ks because these are dollar denominated bond payments. Meaning they said, yeah, we can't do that. Oopsies. No bueno. Tracking with me? So I might have messed up the financial rhetoric in relation to China. However, the reason it matters is because your pension or 401k, whatever you'd like to call it, one that in my opinion is looking like a 201k, being to the best of my ability, the Dow's down 19%, with, 24 S&P, NASDAQ 34. If I'm wrong, let me know, of course, because I want to never give misinformation. We have Coinbase laying off 18%. I never knew who thought Brian Armstrong was a good idea, being that I don't want to get triggered, if you will, but Brian Armstrong is someone who's paid, based on the New York Times, not an op-ed, but actual investigative journalism, paid women and people of color less. And I don't like to do business with people who do that, along with Coinbase and Jack Dorsey, Twitter, Fidelity having a lobby, and it came out, their lobby and their fund. How cute, right? Two white men and the Fidelity. No problem with Fidelity, by the way, love it, just the other two. Would love to meet with them nonetheless. I'm cool to agree to disagree. I'm just going to always be my authentic self, being that I am a CEO and I'm not under anyone's NDA as of yet. And if it makes my ability to speak the truth go away, then I probably would never sign it. But nonetheless, I'm thinking about their fund and their lobby going in first week of April back to back. 18% of his employees were laid off. I would love to know who gave him funding to begin with in relation to Coinbase. I've always found Coinbase an existential threat. As someone who's been in the crypto space since 2016, who knows cheat acts, Iris X has the lowest fees. Je ne comprends pas. Make it make sense. Redfin and Compass. Redfin, real estate, 8% layoffs. Compass, 10% layoffs. Why are these big real estate people laying off? Well, layoffs are coming. Again, Steve Jobs to no jobs. We got the jobless claims in, and I want to give an update. They came back and gave an update. There's actually 232,000 who filed first-time jobless claims last week, 229,000 this week. So we are quite literally purging jobs, and I feel so bad if you have been laid off. Non dependent de sentes privé mon cure. Devastating, because people that worked so hard went back to work, and to only be laid off, absolutely, it's part of what happens in a recession. And people don't want to use these words. They want to say soft landing. No, let's use the words, okay? We could technically say recession coming soon. The economy is already in a depression. $5 a gallon gas, and we're celebrating it's a little bit lower. We have become a photoshopped Facetune version of what a first world country even looks like. We're $1 trillion in credit or consumer debt. Wouldn't be shocked if it's credit card. I guess I could pull my phone up, but I like to do everything from my noggin. And stocks since November, the grace of God told me, along with stats, data, analytics, etc. Something I didn't feel. A lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of Anthony Sampson, a lot of looking at the idiosyncrasies of the men that come before us, whether they be the contrarians that I so admire, the derivative kings like Steve Cohen and George Soros. Both of them are so wonderful. George Soros with the foreign exchange, Steve Cohen with derivatives, and looking at Howard Marks as a contrarian, and just looking at the style of investments. Bill Ackman is an active investor, and taking these extraordinary, Bill Gross, Bond King, my gosh, again, I would love to hear what he has to say. I would argue he's probably one of the most well-versed. Michael Bloomberg, again, is a girl who binges nothing but Bloomberg. I've not seen really any honest analytics. They're just kind of speaking the news. So as a bootlegged version of Bloomberg, where I'd like to assert my opinion, I'm happy the Fed Reserve pulled an Alan Greenspan again, because as a girl who loves her some Alan Greenspan, what he did very special was deregulation. And I believe this was around the time, and I'm still too probably young to even know who he is. It just goes to show how weird I am. But this was the time where America's worst problem was who was getting their, you know what, if sex and oral sex counted. That was what was dividing America. And I remember being very young and very confused, and I now know what counts and what doesn't, and so that's a good thing. I've at least learned from that. But those are the times of America that Skip-its and Tamagotchis were involved, and these types of investors, partying like it's 1929, are investing in zombie corporations, which is exactly why I look forward to the stress test coming out for the Federal Reserve, because who's lending to some of these corporations that are literally giving the vibe of something such as a Skip-it or a Tamagotchi, something that should have been gone a long time ago. I think stocks are down 60 to 70% from November 2021. Could be wrong again. Fact check the you-know-what out of me. But 229,000 this week, 232,000 last week. Yikes. This isn't something... We're seeing an escalation, but layoffs happen because corporations have to shrink, especially when valuation goes down of a corporation. And then, has anybody else other than myself noticed the fires that keep happening? If you notice these warehouse fires of in the U.S., just Google warehouse fires and let me know. Drop it in the C section, because I just have so many questions. I know that they put 10,000 cattle down in Kansas for something. We've put millions of birds down for I don't know what type of illness. I can't keep up with all of this, but the drought is going to be a big one. Water is a basic human right. Eau de Paris is one of the most brilliant inventions. I don't know why the hell America has not taken it. Not literally, I mean, granted, we do like to take things, let's just be real. But nonetheless, I think Eau de Paris is extraordinary, and I'd like to see America do something innovative. Disalienation, long-term, hypothetically, allegedly, is going to be important. Central bank digital currencies, the digital yuan is kicking ass. Apparently it has already loaning to mid, small, medium businesses in China as well, which I left out last video. So as we're talking about a central bank digital currency, see, Alan Greenspan was different. Alan Greenspan had the balls to say, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to deregulate, we're going to keep doing that, and even if I make a mistake, we're going to keep going. Our Federal Reserve seems to be just the chairman and the board, and I'd like to see the board get more aggressive. Hey, I support whatever you guys do. I'm rooting for America, and I want America to do well. I also want Americans to stop blaming the people who want America to do well as well. And to the financial institutions, if you're a banker, if you're doing it, keep doing what you're doing. Jamie Dimon is an extraordinary leader for JP Morgan, and Troubled Asset Relief Program, something similar probably coming soon. Again, I am so appreciative of all of you who have supported my channel. Point 72 has been so amazing. Anyone who works there, Steve Cohen, Rafa, you're amazing. Inspiration 101 for sure. But Goldman Sachs is extraordinary. They have David Solomon, great leader. BlackRock, still crushing it with Larry Fink. Schwartzman at Blackstone. And even OPay, a SoftBank-funded Egyptian conglomerate. Thank you so much, shukran. It's extraordinary to see my LinkedIn and all the support from the men sliding into my DMs, encouraging me, and also giving me different types of tips and tricks and trades. And I appreciate that. For any of those in the CME right now, mazel tov, because it seems that oil, gas, and food keep going just one way. And that is the best, and I would argue the safest hypothetical, not financial advice, giving strategy right now, except for my fave, triangular arbitrage, cross-rate exchange for profit with the ability to meander within the digital space in between, which is why crypto markets crashing does not bother me. I am actually very excited about that. I will stand by Bitcoin being it's the first of its kind. It can be used as a speculative asset, a currency, and a type of technology, which is blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is here to stay, people. So even though people are excited about the crash because they're cynical old people, sorry guys, I can change your mind with Bitcoin. I promise, a personal story that I promise many of you will be hearing one day. But I can change your mind as to why Bitcoin is an invaluable asset. Again, Ethereum might take it or leave it. It to me is like LA. It's like the 405. The gas prices are high. Everyone's driving in the same direction at once, and one virus away from a tent city, a Skid Row, and just it's too trendy. I'm a valuation investor. So even looking at stocks that are going down and seeing Bitcoin still very much linear to tech, I'm not seeing a breakaway. Very shocked about that. No, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. I'm not shocked seeing the shit coins go down, because when you don't pay developers enough, or you give them a hackathon and then you kind of take over their projects, guess what? Based on what they've told me, they're not going to give you their best work. So either pay the developers more if you want a sustainable project. But if you're a CEO of a altcoin, shitcoin, whatever you'd like to call it, it's on you. And by damned, for someone like myself, KYC, AML, due diligence, who has busted my ass teaching myself how to even write my own policies, if you fuck this up for regulatory purposes, that's on you. And I will absolutely be very, very, very disappointed, because the whole purpose of crypto is for it to not be a regulated entity. And I'm very concerned that people that decided to take advantage of developers, engineers in need of money, or the general public. And I'm not even someone who cares, really. I mean, I have been through so much trauma in my life where I love finance, because finance doesn't give a damn about my feelings. It's all about stats, data, analytics, etc. So the reason the reason that China property developers matter is because you matter, and your pension fund matters. And the reason that the declines and the percentages I gave you matter is because your pension matters. Your 401k that could potentially look like a 201k, a 101k. And for those about the 0.75, I hope that they continue, because caveat, it shows transitory was never real. We could just an apology would have been cool, but that's all right. And it also showed the labor market is not good, and we're laying off in a labor market that's not good. Yikes. Again, America's face-tuned and photoshopped itself to look like a first world. And we are operating more like a third world with the baby food formula shortage. And Abbott's already within 10 days shut down for some reason in which I don't know. So drop it in the C-section. Let me know. I can't keep up with everything, but let's see. I do have my phone right here. Let's scroll through it, because again, I don't like to be a cheapskate. And cheapskate, there we go. Let's see. What did I miss? I've only got so much information written down to memorize, or notations that I find to be relevant. But let's see. Let's just go through one more time, so that way I don't have to correct myself. Okay, we already talked about this. Okay, we talked about all of this. And let's see. Yeah, we did. Okay, yay. Well, Anna Habak, Jitim Te Amo, Bisu Besu Bachi. Okay, the only thing it looks like is I didn't say is that 105 countries are looking at central bank digital currency. So it is a CBDC race. Let me remind you, the dollar is not the world reserve currency. According to the IMF, we have the yen, the yuan, the pound, the euro, and the dollar. 5 currencies identifying as one. Yikes. Rate hikes, of course, expect them. Expect the Fed to get aggressive. Granted, they'll never match inflation, which I believe is probably chilling at around 2%. But even if it's at 8%, a target rate of 3 to 4 is not going to do shit. So let's talk. And that doesn't even count the balance sheet shrinkage. Who's buying the mortgage-backed securities? Should like we really encourage people like David Solomon to do a swap and say, hey, Fed Reserve, you purchased some of our debt, some of the bank, corporate, what the fuck ever, and we'll buy them so we can have some sort of valuation when the stocks just keep going down, 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 down. And maybe that could help. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe it would keep valuation that way. It's not an insurance company getting bailed out and people don't end up in bail-ins. And this is why, again, respect the people that work for the Fed. I'm so sick and tired of every day logging in and seeing misinformation. The Fed doesn't print the money, the Treasury does. That would be Miss Janet Yellen. And don't blame them when they're micro looking at all these banks, making sure you all's money is being moved well. They're doing a wonderful job and they're very nice people. I've been so privileged and honored to have spoken with many. And as a Jew, I don't like stereotypes unless I make fun of myself. And I think we should give grace to everyone, because let me say this. If they all walked out of their jobs tomorrow, the fuckery behind what would be going on in the banks would be... Just imagine this. As much as you may dislike or disagree, and they are for disagreeing, that's the one thing that attracted me to learn more about how the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve Board operates. They love to debate. They are very passionate about their beliefs in the markets. But they're very passionate about helping the American people, especially the banks that are micro-targeting areas to keep your money from being completely schemed and scammed and taken and stolen and all that good stuff. Fact check me and let's talk. And I head back to Tim Teamo. And again, from everybody, oh my gosh, just shout out to some funds that have watched my stuff and I just freak out. Bridgewater, Ray Dalio's fund, God bless you. Oaktree, Howard Marks fund, just freak out. PIMCO, Bill Gross's fund, wow. 0.72 Steve Cohen's, oh my gosh. I just get so... Millennium, thank you. I'm so honored. JP Morgan Private Bank, what an extraordinary group of people to talk to that have such great ultra high net worth individuals and a $10 million minimum. You guys must be so passionate about what you do. Keep up the hard work. Barclay, as all the institutional bankers and banks, thank you for the support, the encouragement. And really, let me just say this to all the women who are afraid to get in finance. Girls, shoot your shot. If you love numbers and math and a good, for like myself, I love a good quantitative order book analysis and quantum. I love high volume trading. So if you like all that fun stuff and you're down to learn, and they're actually not going to make you cry. I thought for me it was always shut up, Alex, obey, go get my coffee, and maybe I'm a vegan and eat some coconut milk and you just pay your dues. But that is not how I've been treated. Let me say this. The men in this business would love to see more women in finance passionate about what they're doing and really understanding the basics of the economy and how just economics work and the long-term debt cycle, short-term, anything. Finance is a lifestyle. And so anybody willing to live that lifestyle, I have experienced nothing but just shock and honor. Anybody from a Fed Reserve board, anyone from a Fed Reserve bank, and a Bank de Paris, and SoftBank, which is Massa's bank, which is extraordinary, of the SoftBank $100 billion vision fund. My gosh, just Blackstone, Schwartzman, BlackRock, I think I'm just Vanguard, Fidelity, TD, Citi, Wells, Arvest. If I posted my stats, people would probably think I'm lying. It would look like I've rigged or something, but no. So females, do not. I get DMs every flipping day with encouragement. So men, thank you to the mentors. There's one girl so far that I've met on LinkedIn. Everyone else has been a man wanting to edify me as a minority female and a young one. And they want to do everything they can to help curate me to be the best emerging managers possible. So, and I have back to Tim Teamo, Bisu Besu Bachi. I love you all. Until every man that has messaged me, you have no idea how much that means. And happy Father's Day to all of you that are obviously fathers or have them.